chairperson statements I kind of have for last month, so I know we have a lot to go over through today. I will save because what I wanted to do is because we have so much to discuss, respectfully due to the event in December. I'll probably move around some of the things from the bottom of the agenda up to the top so we have a little discussion of it. Because like I said, the majority of this meeting is really going to go to planning for the next HRC award ceremony that's going to be done in December. So just one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about, and then we could go to the co-chairperson statements. Becky, I hate to put you on the spot. But just in case you had anything to add, but one thing that I definitely wanted to say in the beginning is I don't know if you guys know about the Greenfield Digital Equity Commission in the city of Greenfield. And they was actually and they reached out because they wanted to come next month to speak to the commission. It would be Ted Harvey and Jessica Atwood through the Franklin Regional Council of Governments. And basically she just wanted me to read you guys this. If I could pull it up, I had it right here. Hold on. Okay, so basically the Franklin Regional Council of Government, which is the FRCOG, is funded through the Massachusetts Broadband Institute, MBI Municipal Digital Equity Planning Program. Is providing planning services to the city of Greenfield to create a digital equity plan. The plan will include an analysis of existing conditions and recommendations for the municipality to begin, modify or expand for digital equity programs and investments, and or partner with organizations implementing digital equity programs and investments. Throughout the process, we are using the following definition of digital equity to guide our work. Digital equity is a condition in which all individuals and communities have the information technology capacity needed for full participation in our society, democracy, and economy. Digital equity is necessary for civic and cultural participation, employment, lifelong learning, and access to essential services. The planning process includes outreach and engagement through a community listening session, 2 to 3 smaller focus groups, and 4 to 5 meetings with the Greenfield Digital Equity Committee. The dates of the listening session and focus groups are to be announced at this point. The lead contact is Jessica Atwood, the Director of Planning through the FRCOG. And you can also contact Ted Harvey, the Senior Economic Development Planner, also with the FRCOG. I just want to bring that to your attention. This is a new commission that actually kicked off in Greenfield. And you're going through to LMI communities and the underserved population. And they wanted to basically just come to the HRC because of the work we do to actually introduce this program next month. I know because of the forum was cut short last time we had a meeting, so I wasn't really able to discuss it. So I just wanted to bring that to commission to see if we could get a quick vote before we move on, just so I could let them know to plan accordingly to come to that meeting. So, all right. So I have a proposal on the table for the invitation of the Greenfield Digital Equity Commission to come to the HRC meeting last month to talk about this great new program that they have to provide service to our lower income individuals in the city of Greenfield.
I so move.
Thank you, Lance. Anybody second that?
I second that.
Thank you so much, Becky. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you all so much. And that is all from me. Now we can move on to Becky. Thank you, Becky.
Okay, well, I did see that I was on the agenda, and I don't really have anything personally that I've prepared. I wasn't sure what that was about. So if there's something that I'm supposed to do, maybe somebody can advise me outside of the meeting and I'll prepare it for next time. I did I did put together some notes for our discussion today, so I'm really excited to think about what that event could be like. I know we had done some planning about that last year around this time, and it wasn't able to happen. So I'm excited to think about maybe some of the ways that that's going to be happening.
Thank you, Becky. You know, that's perfect. And the reason why I had you down in case you want to make statements, because you do so much great work in the community. And I know that you're definitely another outlet. So if you did happen to hear some buzz that we didn't hear, this would be the perfect time to say it. So thank you very much. Now we'll move on to 4, which is the roll call of commissioners. Matthew, you said you would take care of that part for us?
Yeah, I am happy to. So roll call, Empress,
Present.
Becky,
I'm here.
Lance,
Sort of here.
Grady,
I am here.
Quinn,
Present.
and then Kathleen is absent. Okay, I've recorded that in the minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next on the agenda is the approval of the September 11th minutes. I don't know about anybody else, but I never received those minutes. Did anybody else ever receive those minutes?
I believe I did send them. Let me find the email thread. I think I sent them literally, it was probably the day after the meeting, but I know there's always different email threads, so just want to make sure everyone got them. Let me pull them up. Yeah, I sent, there's an email, it's entitled HRC minutes from September 11 meeting that I sent on Tuesday, September 12th.
It was too quick. You caught us by surprise. We weren't looking.
That's exactly what it was. But okay, so that's the approval of the September 11th minutes. All right, so are we gonna approve the minutes, or would we like to table that until next time? If we want to take a moment to look over it. Did everybody receive a copy of the minutes? Did we have a time to look over? I know it's been some time since the last time we met, so my apologies for that. So I just want to make sure.
Also, I was gonna just take a quick look at it.
Yeah, that sounds like a responsible thing to do. Right?
I'm sending them to Lance now too, so the email thread will come up for everyone. Sending to Lance if you want to have a quick look.
Thanks.
No problem.
There you go. What's going on here?
I'll give a couple more minutes for everybody to look over it.
I can't find the attachment. Great job.
Okay, so maybe let me reattach it
Yeah, double. I mean, yeah.
just so you can see it, Lance. Yeah.
Can you put it in the chat?
Oh, let me see. Chat. Can you upload files? Yeah, screenshot. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'll just resend the email because it probably is easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my phone right here. I can read it if the attachment wasn't on
Did
there.
everyone else find the minutes okay, though?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike got the attachment.
Okay. I don't want to be attached, good Buddhist practice here, right?
Meeting minutes, and I just have to find where.
Yeah, sometimes Google just drives me crazy with the different threads and the replies go into different, some singular replies, some replies all, some.
I think he just resent it with the attachment, so it should be at the very top of your emails.
I received an email at the very top moments ago, but there's no attachment.
I just resent it just to you. It's a blank email, Lance, but the attachment is right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll give a couple more minutes for Lance to look over.
You can go ahead. I can multitask here if you want to continue.
Okay, so do we have a vote on approving the minutes from September 11th?
I vote to approve the minutes.
I do too.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay,
Remember, I have to do the roll call votes for the online meeting, so I'll just do that real quick. So roll call, Empress,
present.
or approved, or yay or nay?
Yeah, ready?
So,
No worries at all.
Take one, take two. Right?
So, yay or nay, Empress?
aye,
Aye.
yay.
Okay.
Yay.
Becky,
Approve.
Lance,
Approve.
Grady,
Approve.
Quinn.
Approve.
All right, excellent.
Thank you, Matthew. Once again, now we'll move down to the updates from the mayor's office from the city director of communications, which would be Matt.
Yeah, happy to provide some updates. First, I just want to say I think it's an excellent idea to invite the digital equity, commission to talk about digital equity. It's a really, not only is it a really important issue, but it's something the city is going to be really emphasizing. We have a press release coming either sometime this week or next. And I think, GSET and or other organizations in the area have done great work so far, but there's so much, more steps to go through. So I'm glad that we're getting the equity plan together, and that's really going to be something I think the HRC can have a really great presence in. Updates from the mayor. She said she's really excited to hear about the different criteria we established tonight for the HRC awards. Yeah, her only real suggestion was making sure we just establish some, good guidelines for people to understand when, for the awards process and stuff like that. But she's very excited to see how everything comes together.
Thank you so much, Matt. So now we could jump into the meat of the conversation, which is the update of the event planning for the HRC awards. So I'm going to start with you because I know you've been doing a lot of work with HCC.
Yes.
So can you just expand on what you have accomplished?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of work on the event since our last meeting. So this is going to be kind of an info dump just to let you all know. So basically, I don't know if it's like echoing for you guys, but it's echoing for me. But okay. So it's going to be December 10th, which is the 75th anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights. And it's going to be from 12 to 5:30. I have booked the venue with GCC. I've been in contact with Judy Raper from, she does community outreach there. And she sent me the link to get the venue going. I did it like 2 weeks ago, but she just emailed me today and said that she never got it. So I redid it again today earlier, and she says she will be in contact with me once the link doesn't go right to her, it goes to somebody else. So she's gonna like talk to me about it once everything's all sorted out. But they said that they would sponsor the event, so we don't have to pay to rent the room, but we do have to pay for AV setup and everything just so that we can have like mics and stuff. And basically, the meat of the symposium is that there's going to be 3 panels. One is about environmental justice, one's about racial justice and rural employment, and then I have penciled in for the third one, like about migration and diaspora, but thought I would leave the third one up to our commission to discuss it. Maybe there's something else that we thought would be more compelling in that spot, and just like to have an option of you guys to like have what you want in the panels. I started emailing people to see if they would be interested in speaking on the panel because I'm thinking 3 to 4 people on the panel if we can get enough for each panel. I have one definite confirmed for the racial justice and rural employment, and I have sent out 2 for the environmental justice and local action, but I have yet to hear back from them, and I emailed them like a week ago. So I'm probably gonna email them again in a couple days if they haven't gotten back. And I'm still working on finding the emails for a couple. I have a whole list of people I want to invite to talk on panels because I know realistically they're not all going to say yes. So I need to ask a lot of people, and I just need to find their emails. So I'm working on that still. If you guys have any suggestions of people who you'd want to you would think would be good on the panel, send them my way and I can email them, or you can email them yourself and explain it. And the last thing I was going to say is that I wanted to have moderators for each panel, and I was hoping that one of you could moderate each panel. So it would be like you would introduce the panel, what it's about, and then you would be the moderator for that panel. Because I was going to have someone else moderate it, but at this point, I don't think that we have the budget for that. Did we ever find out the budget? Because we do have to pay for the AV thing. So that would be good to know. Matt, I think you said you were going to work on
Yeah,
that.
on the minutes email that I just refreshed to you guys, I think I said in that email, the
Okay.
side note, the budget
Okay.
is $700.
Okay, perfect. That is enough to cover the AV cost. And I don't think that we're gonna do any we're not doing like food that they have at GCC because that's expensive. But I think the rest of the money can probably go towards marketing. But I want to get the people who are going to be on the panel down soon, like hopefully before our next meeting, like before I would say like the first week of November so that we can start marketing it. Because I was hoping that this would have been done a while ago, but I guess I was unrealistic with how fast people would respond to my emails. So I am going to keep working on trying to get everyone down for the panels. But mostly what I need from you guys is any other suggestions of who you would want to see on the panel. And if you can be a moderator for any of them, please let me know because that would be incredibly helpful. And the other thing is just the award is going to be at the end. So like we're going to have the 3 panels, and then what's going to keep I want people to stay the entire time from 12 to 5:30. So the award would be at the end to keep audience engagement and keep them involved. There's breaks in between each panel too. I'm going to send a outline of the entire schedule, which I've written up. I just haven't emailed it to you, but I just want to explain everything beforehand. So I'm going to email you the agenda afterwards. And then the award is going to go at the end so that everyone stays till the end. And that's basically like the big chunk of it I've got done, just the award, like that whole situation, and then moderators, and then any other suggestions for people who could be on the panels is what I have left. But the rest of it is mostly done. And that is my update.
Well, Quinn, that's definitely good. As far as catering, I know that last year when when the topic of the HRC awards came up, and I reached out to Kristen at Stone Soup Cafe, and she definitely offered, like, if we was to do one, that she would definitely be more than involved to cater an event for us.
That's a really good
So
idea. We could do that.
to definitely keep it in the community. So I could reach out to
Mhm.
Kristen tomorrow and
Okay.
set up a meeting with her. And if anybody else would like to go to that meeting with her to try to set up
Mhm.
catering, and they could go over a menu and certain things like
Mhm.
that. So at least we would have a time, and they would do the drinks and everything
Mhm.
like that.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah, that's definitely something that we could work on for the catering. Now, I like the way that you set up for the panels, the racial justice and environmental justice. But what did you say was the third one? I know you said that one you're still out on that one, but I missed that third one. What was it?
So the third one I have penciled in right now, feeling the 21st century diaspora, basically about like migration and stuff. And my thought was like we have like a lot of new immigrants in Greenfield and across the country. So I was thinking we could invite like maybe the superintendent, and that's where I was going with that. But I realized that I want to have you guys more involved. So like if there is another topic that you think would be better suited, let me know and we could do that instead, because I haven't reached out to anyone yet for that panel. So we could do something else and invite other people, but whatever you guys think is best.
Okay, can I ask you another question, Quinn? Are you working with any other commissioners, or any other commissioners working with you on I'm on the project, as far as the
Yeah.
events planning?
I have been mostly doing this on my own, but I would love you guys to help me out if you are interested.
Okay, and what about anybody outside of the commission? Or are you just doing, do you have any other people who's helping you with like getting things together, or is it just mostly you?
I have been talking to Judy from GCC, so I guess you could say she is. I've been like reaching out to people who I think would be good for the panels and stuff, and just getting advice to like I've been doing like who would be like local good for these panels, but other than that, I've mostly been going off of like my own connections. But yeah, that's pretty much. I think it would be great to have like, because you guys definitely have more connections with this than me. So it would be very helpful if you guys have like any ideas. That would be amazing.
I know you said that you had one confirmed speaker for racial justice. Who was that?
Yes. So I thought it would be most of the people I have speaking are all going to be like adults who have been working their whole lives in this, but I thought it would be cool to get a different perspective from like a student. At my school, we have a social justice club, and the president of it, his name's Nate Woodard, and he's doing a lot of work with it this year, and he has been last year too. So I invited him to come be part of the panel, and he said that he would be interested in doing that. So I sent him all the information, and he is confirmed for that. But he so far is the only one that's confirmed. Everyone else is still I'm waiting to hear back from.
Okay, and you said he's a student, correct?
Yeah, he's a sophomore and he goes to GHS.
Okay, well, somebody else who I could definitely set you up with is Tracy Talbert. She actually
Mhm.
racial justice work for CDC, and
Perfect.
she's definitely a great speaker in Franklin County as well. And
Mhm.
I could definitely and that's somebody else, so you could have a diversity or variety of different
Mhm.
people.
Yeah,
I think
perfect.
it's very good, if we pull from the younger pool and the older pool,
Mhm.
and bring it all together. I definitely like that idea.
Mhm.
The environmental justice piece,
Mhm.
you said that you already reached out to two individuals, but you have not
Yes.
heard from them
So
yet, correct?
I reached out to Dr. Sarah Gardner, who is the um geez, I put this all down. I was looking up so many people. I kind of got lost in all of it. But she has a PhD in environmental science and she works at Williams University. So I asked her if she wanted to participate, but she is a very busy woman, so it makes sense that she hasn't responded. And then the other one I asked was Dan Rivera, who is the mayor of Lawrence, Massachusetts, and I asked him to do the environmental science because he dealt with like a lot of that during his time on the job, but he hasn't responded yet either. I know that one's a bit of a stretch because it's not local, it's kind of far away, but I mean, I was going for the long shots because I'm trying to pull any connections I can. And I also had a good idea I wanted to invite Essie Chambers for that. She did the movie Descendant, but I cannot find her email. And she came to my school last year. I feel like I should know her email. I'm working on finding all these people's emails, but I have like a huge list of everybody I want to invite, which I can share to you guys. But right now it's about 12 people long. So I feel like if I want to have like I feel like two is too little, but like 3 people per panel. I have 12 people I'm inviting, so that has room for error, but I feel like I would definitely like more people to invite just so I can be confident we have enough people. But I still need to work on finding all their emails. I'm gonna check all their LinkedIn soon, but
Mhm.
that's still what I have to do.
I have a good
And
suggestion for
Mhm.
Empress, you go first. My bad.
Are you sure? No, I was just gonna say, mine also because of what the HR, the HRC awards. Another person to reach out to is Jesse Dean at the Franklin County Chamber of Commerce to pull the chamber in this as well.
Okay.
So that's another connection that I could set you up with, and she might be able to help you with some more connections as far as
Mhm.
those 2 panels.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to suggest for environmental justice. She's not working in Greenfield, unfortunately, anymore, but Carol Collins, she was one of the first energy directors in the state in Greenfield
Mhm.
and worked here for over a decade. And pretty much any energy initiative that's happened in the city, she's helped spearhead it. And she now is working pretty much a very similar position in Northampton. So she's still in the area and could be a great person to reach out to. She's extremely passionate and extremely knowledgeable about all things energy.
Okay, perfect. If you guys
What's
can
your-
send me all these people's names and emails, that would be so fantastic. If you want to reach out to any of them on your own, feel free. Just like let me know so I can like write down their names so I can just like have an idea. But this is fantastic. I'm so glad that I have more people to balance this out.
Matt, what did you say? Her name was again. I'm sorry, Carol.
Carol Collins.
Becky, I believe you was next.
I got a question.
Yes, Lance. 1 minute. Becky had her hand up.
I think Lance actually raised his hand originally, and then I can.
Physically, but go ahead, Becky. Yeah, I got to do this Zoom thing, right? You can go ahead, Becky. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. So I really appreciate all of the work that you've put into everything, Quinn. It looks like you've gone into a lot of detail. I guess I'm sort of a little bit unsure of what our process is when we're doing collaborative work as a commission. This seems like a really large event, and I do think that if we're expecting people to be somewhere for almost 6 hours, we have to give them food. So that would definitely need to be part of it. And I guess then I guess I wonder also like where the questions for the panels are going to come from and sort of like how we're collaborating on this. So I guess some of our process and how we're working together is kind of what I'm asking about. And I really like this idea. It seems like you've, gone into great depth. I just want to be able to understand what I'm signing up for. And
Yeah.
so doing an awards thing or like an all-day event are two very different things. So, and I guess if we have $700 to spend, I think it's a better way to get people to give them food over like audio visual, even though that's helpful. But I think food is what gets people to stay and takes care of them. So
So for the prompt things, for the questions, I was going to I wasn't gonna do it at this meeting because I just wanted to like get all the information. And I know I was looking at the agenda that I knew we were probably gonna have to spend a lot of time on the God, what's the word? Like the rubric for the award, the HRC award. So I wasn't gonna do too much with the prompts, but I was hoping that I could either by the next meeting talk about the prompts more, or in between the two meetings be in emails with you guys. But I definitely want to work together on like creating prompts for each panel so that we can just like give them a question and then it's more like a open discussion and whatnot. Each panel is about an hour, so I was thinking about 5 to 6 prompts, maybe 5 to 7. And if we don't get through all of them, it's just good to have like enough so that we don't run out. But I haven't created any yet because I definitely want to discuss that with you guys. And then for the food, I was originally definitely wanted to do food, but when I was talking to the woman from GCC, she was saying it was going to get really expensive. So I think it's a really good idea to do the God, what's it called? The soup, that place that Empress was talking about. I think that's a fantastic idea. It yeah. Yes, that. And then I was like kind of having it from 12 to 5 because it's just after lunch before dinner, but I definitely can see that that's pushing it and it's good to have food. So I think it's a great idea to reach out to them and try to get catering from them.
I guess that's where my question was starting to go. Was budget numbers real quick. $700 is like not. As I understand, that wasn't budgeted for the event. That was budgeted for the year. Is that right? Okay.
That's correct.
And I and I was sick, and I'm just getting on the commission. I wasn't quite sure what the process was that we decided to do an all-day event. Did we decide that? Or is that something, Quinn, that you took the ball and ran with that?
I was emailing Empress after the meeting about creating a symposium. I thought that was clear that it was going to be like more than just like a quick thing, but I guess I didn't make it that clear. I mean, I did bring up the idea at the last meeting when I was talking about the events and community collaborations and how I thought this would be a good idea, but I definitely could have like been more upfront about how long it was gonna be.
So are we all comfortable with the notion of moving ahead as it sort of looks? I mean, I think we could definitely run with this ball. I am interested. I don't know what the catering numbers look like and the what the AV figure was, or it'd be nice to see some of the numbers. We can.
Yeah, when I was talking to Judy, she was saying I was really asking her for clear numbers for the AV, and she was like, "Oh, get back to me with your budget." She kind of implied it would be like 100 or like 150 or something like that. And now that I have the budget, I'm going to go back to her and talk to her because she was like not really telling me how much it was exact because they wanted to know our budget first. But I'm hoping since they're sponsoring it, maybe I can like try like see. Right now they're covering our room rental, but possibly after hearing our budget, I don't know. Like exactly what they're gonna do because I thought that my venue thing went in like 2 weeks ago, but because apparently it didn't, they still need to talk about it at the GCC. So maybe I can email Judy beforehand and see if they can cover the AV cost, or not. But it would be really nice if they could. I will see if we can make that happen. But if not, I think it's about $100. I will get a definite price from her now that I know the budget, because I don't know why she wouldn't tell me, but that was what was happening.
Okay, thank you, Quinn. And I know that like I said, my only thing there's two things I have, because in December from 12 to 5:30, the weather changes, and and I definitely think that it's definitely gonna be a great event, but I just think 5:30 might be a little long. So
Yeah.
like say like 12 to make like because usually like events in
Mhm.
Greenfield usually go for like 3 hours. And I just think
Okay.
like something, because you don't want something too drawn out to like
Yeah.
for the people, you
Mhm.
know, you want to keep everybody engaged, and sometimes, a three people can do 2-3 hours, but I
Mhm.
think sometimes the 5 hour
Mhm.
time frame tends to get a little tricky,
Okay.
especially because we haven't really done something like this in a few years. So we just don't want to like stretch it out too much. We definitely want to like, I love the thing about so it's going to be more of a panel discussion or like a
Mhm.
question and
Yeah.
answer. It's like question and
It's
answer, panel discussion. Okay.
it's a panel. It's like an open discussion. Like we ask them one question and then they bounce it off of each other. Mhm.
Okay. Um, and would it be where like people from the community could also get involved in this discussion, but they would be like the
Mhm.
moderators, correct? Or I'm
Yeah.
sorry, or a member of the HRC would be a moderator to ask the question.
Yeah, yes. So we would be the moderators. I was mostly viewing it as like they I guess it would make more sense to have the people, like the public, participate, like if they wanted to. But I guess beforehand I was thinking about it like watching the panel, but do like the idea. Also, I will send you the agenda. It can definitely be cut down. It is really long. I have each one about like an hour for each panel with like 10-minute breaks in between them. If we think that's like way too long, we can definitely cut it down. And I've also like written time in the agenda for like just like introductions and conclusions and like all of that like shuffling around. If we also include food and catering, we could just, I don't know if that would take up more time, but we could also just have them eating while listening to the panel. So that could work. But if we want to shorten it down, I think that's definitely possible. And once I send you guys the agenda, we can collaborate on that. But yeah.
Like I said, I definitely love that idea, especially like I said, after we talked to Stone Super to do the catering. Take for instance, like when they do some of the chamber breakfasts, and they have like from 12 to say 12:30, 12:45, where everybody comes in and gets what they want, and a little meet and greet first, a little social time, and then go into the actual schedule. I definitely like that idea. I like I said before, I would definitely be interested to helping you. I'm on your committee to put things together. On my career, as a matter of fact, I actually had a meeting with Judy on what was it, Friday? Yes, I had a meeting with Judy on Friday. And she's like, "Oh, I reached out to Quinn. I didn't hear back from him." So, because I've been like, "Have you talked to Quinn yet?" So, um, yeah, definitely. I think it's great if you could get as many people involved on your individual events planning committee as it could, because one meeting a month is not going to do the work, and I just have to commend you for how much great work you have done so far. I definitely love the energy and that you've put into this, and however I can help support you, I definitely will. And I guess that takes from, if there's another, Matt, how many commissioners can actually join the events planning again? I
Like
forgot.
the subcommittees?
Yes.
Yeah, 3, I believe.
Okay. So there could be up to 3 of us that could actually join you in the planning of this outside of the regular commission and your subcommittee. Like I said, you could count me in, whatever I can do to help, I definitely will, but like I said, I think because of how much it's October 24th, we definitely need to start getting some some more things together. And when we come back again on November 13th, we come back with more detail of where we are with your planning committee. So like I said, whatever I can do, and I'm sure if any of the other commissioners would definitely like to join Flynn on this in this subcommittee, I'm sure they would be more than happy to join and support you with that. Another thing I just wanted to ask, Matt, I think this question will go for you.
Mhm.
I believe spoke at the September 11th as far as the engraving. Do you know who we used before for the engraving?
Honestly, that's I'm not sure, but I can check with the mayor about that. I was gonna mention that that's something definitely to consider in the budget, but that's something I'll definitely ask the mayor about, and as soon as I get an answer, I can just email everyone just so we know the figure, well ahead of time.
I feel like we did
Okay.
have that information and it was a place in Turner's Falls and it was pretty
Okay.
reasonable, I think.
That's good to know, because
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure when you guys were talking about it last year, that was before I was here, so you probably have some good information
Well,
there.
WID is here and WID might have that institutional knowledge.
All right. Hi, Wid. Do you have that institutional knowledge? As far as the engraving, how they did it before for the HRC awards, do you know where they brought it for the engraving? Wid, can you hear me?
I,
He's
w- I
on
want
mute.
I wanted to ask, were you guys planning? So I know we do the engraving itself and have it on the board in City Hall, but were you guys planning to make up some sort of award that the person will also keep or something like that?
Well, basically the first one would be the engraving on the wall at City Hall.
Mhm.
As far as getting their name engraved on that. And then the second one would be like an actual little trophy award that you could actually bring with them. And just take them. So that would be yes and a yes. So the engraving for the piece from City Hall, would that be something that will come out of the HRC budget, correct? Or is that something that City Hall does for that?
I can check with the mayor. I'll definitely ask her.
Okay. All right. So Becky, do you know exactly where engraving place is? Is it?
I don't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately, but I know that we had looked up getting some small awards when we were maybe talking about there being a couple of awards, a couple different categories or something. So, and it was in Turner's.
Okay. Thank you, Becky. And then now that Becky actually brought us to that, as far as categories and guidelines, my number one question is just, will we focus on individuals or will we also do organizations, or is it just going to be a one blanket award for everything, or are we going to split it up? Like, take for instance, we award the HRC for humanitarian, the HRC award, say, to CDC, and then we'll do the HRC award to, say, I don't know, Lance Smith. So will we have individual and an organizational award, or would it just? Why is my hand still raised? Or would it just be one blanket award? I, my opinion here, which would be open for discussion, I kind of like to split it up and have an individual award and have an organizational award, but that discussion is definitely open for discussion.
I think, the first concept I had was try to keep it simple because, we've got a lot to pull off here. And the image I had, of course, was an individual award more than an organizational award, but I'm open, but I think that, we're going to have a lot to do here. And so having this, second category, second type of criteria or whatever, and a second award and the second plaque and whatever, might not be a good idea.
Okay, thank you, Lance. Becky?
Yeah, so, this has kind of turned into a much larger thing, and we're pulling it off in a pretty small time. So I'm just putting my 2 cents in there, that something like what you're talking about would, usually take like at least a couple of months working on a committee to be organizing together. And so doing it in 6 weeks is just a really fast timeline. So then we're adding more complications by adding more award categories and more, so it's getting, I'm just putting it out there, it's just getting large, and that is harder to do. And it's harder to do with community involvement because it's so many levels. So I think that for my opinion is on the plaque in City Hall, that should be reserved for an individual. That's what I think, but I think we could have other categories that might be a business or somebody that's doing something through a business, and they can get a business category. But I think that one of the things, I looked up some stuff online about other awards ceremony or like criteria. And I think that it's like really looking at sort of like the individual cost. And so while there is a cost to a business, it just doesn't have the same kind of intensity or personal like energy. Like a business can write a check and they still also get like, a tax write-off, they get a receipt, it goes to, there's different levels. And I'm not saying that businesses don't do wonderful work in our community, because we have wonderful, like, community-minded people. It's very neighborly in Greenfield and Franklin County. So that's just, those are my thoughts about it. So I think that it should be something that had a personal cost. I know that there were other conversations that happened previously related to the person not doing it for a job. I think that if you are doing it through a job, it's not a personal cost, right? You're being paid. But if you are somebody who does human service work for a living, and then also outside of your job at your personal cost are doing more things, then that would qualify somebody. Because I was a little bit concerned hearing some category conversations before that was like, you can't do it for a living. And so then we start getting into class where maybe you're retired or you're not working or you're independently wealthy. And so you're just this kind, rich person or something, so that you could do it for a living, but that the cost would have to be outside of your paid time because that's your job. And maybe there's something about like some time or years kind of qualification, like you've been doing this kind of work for this many years or this amount, so there could be a time frame, a long-standing citizen award, something. And then maybe there's some kind of like leadership, whether you were doing it as like you were a leader or taking some initiative to start doing some humanitarian work in the community, kind of taking that having that drive. So those were basically, yeah. So above and beyond is kind of my main thing. And we lost Wid, it looks like, or he left intentionally.
I like that. I definitely like that. I definitely like those. It seemed like we went right into qualifications. Thank you, Becky. We're just moving right along. So, I definitely like that it has to be outside of regular work time. So it can't be your job description or something that you do 9 to 5. That should not count, because like you shouldn't be getting paid to do that. This is something that you're doing, whether volunteering or whatever that you're doing outside. I love that. As a matter of fact, I would definitely think that should be one of the qualifications. Like I said, Becky kind of just took us to the other part of the discussion. But I definitely like that. I also like the idea as far as qualifications, as far as you must be obviously number one, a Greenfield resident. Now, as far does anybody else have any other qualifications that they would look at for this award? Now that we know we're just going to focus, and just like Becky said, because of the time constraints that we have right now, and the budget that we're working with, we could always look at next year, because we'll have more time, because we know, like, okay, this is something that we're doing and it's back. So at least we'll have more time to start planning for this. But just like Becky said, I would definitely like to back her up with that. Maybe right now, because it's the first year it's been done in like 7 years, I believe, that we
Yeah.
just focus on the individual for now. I feel at least we're doing something and acknowledging the person. So Becky, thank you, for bringing that through. But with that being said, like I said, I think that Becky brought us to the next point. Now that we know it's going to be individuals and not business for this year, we could table that for 2024. Yay. But like I said, I definitely already see one of the qualifications that Becky said is it has to be outside of your regular work schedule, outside of your paid time. A second qualification is that you must be a Greenfield resident. Are there any other qualifications for this award? Are we going to have an age limit, 18 plus, 21 plus? Is there going to be an age limit of when you could actually be? My screen just went green. Is this going to be an 18 plus award? Or
I mean, I think we should just keep it simple, like adult, like a Greenfield adult, I think as simple as possible. I don't know. I mean,
So
I guess
18
unless
plus?
maybe there's a kid that could be.
Right. I mean, you Greta Thunberg, I mean,
right.
A Greenfield,
Okay.
I think a Greenfield resident, and
Yeah, and just leave it open like that. Just a Greenfield resident.
to further human rights,
Yeah, I would definitely include some sort of statement like exemplifies the values of the Human Rights Commission. Someone who takes the message that the HRC puts out to heart and really acts it out in the community and spreads it positively. I think just some sort of, whether if it's a criteria or just like an opening statement, something like that, I think would be good to include.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. Anybody else? Any other qualifications we should look at? Right now I have outside. You notice, Becky, I keep coming back to yours first, right? Outside of your regular paid time. 2, I have Greenfield resident. 3, exemplifies the HRC mission in the community. Any other qualifications we should look at?
Well, I mean, I think they exemplify it, but I think they also are like outstanding with it, right? Because there's so many people that exemplify those wonderful ideals in the community, but how do we select one person so they have to, sort of go above and beyond?
Okay.
We could put that in that statement too. Like goes above and beyond to exemplify the issue value, something like that.
Right. So that will be part of part 3, right? The exemplifies and it goes above and beyond. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other qualifications?
Somebody wanted to write like a reason why that we could review, the reasons. And then if somebody gave us a really good reason, then we'd be like, this is a really good reason. We should select this person. I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think a really great thing to establish is just the forum for how people will vote. I think, as someone who's been using Google Forms a lot recently for the opioid settlement fund survey we just did, I think that's a really great, easy to build, accessible tool where you have above like kind of the criteria, and then what we could do is have, the name of the person you just type in, and then you can have a paragraph below, why did you select this person? So something that's very easy, for people to access. You can have links of it places. You can have the QR code for people to scan. So just a suggestion for how to tally the votes. And I'll also say this about Google Forms, it tallies the statistics of everything. So you can go, say there's been 40 responses, you can hit responses and it'll show you right there, what everyone has submitted, what everyone's response is. So it's a really easy way too to just categorize all the information that comes in as well.
We
Yeah,
used the word vote a couple of times, and I'm just wondering about the word vote. When you said
Or
that.
I just meant for some selecting the person that they're
Nominating
picking.
somebody?
Yeah,
When they-
nominating.
I-
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it wasn't like having to go out to the community for people to vote on.
No, definitely not. My bad. That's just
Okay, no, I just want to clarify.
Right.
Sorry, Lance, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so this for nominations. And then are we going to, what's the process from there? Just take the most nominations and select that, or we select from, does the commission select from the nominations at the next meeting? What was the process?
I imagine we would have to select from the nominations because how many people will have multiple people? Maybe some, but probably most people will be of nomination from somebody that knows about what they do.
Right.
It's not too
So
long,
so it would be
though.
community nominations and commission vote, correct?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So on this Google Forms that you was talking about, Matt, this would be something that you would produce and basically make it shareable so that we could share it to the public and would it be accessible to the community?
Yeah. It'd be, you can access it through a link, you can access it through a QR code. It's pretty easy to access. You can, all sorts of different kind of avenues.
How will we announce its presence? Like what do how do we get?
I can definitely say on my front from social media, I'd be happy to promote it on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those social media forums that the city uses. So that's definitely one avenue. The other would definitely just be kind of public word of mouth. The different Greenfield groups are always a great place to post things, just sharing it on your own Facebook, just different things like that. Those are, inexpensive avenues to really outreach.
We can even utilize Bear Radio and a lot of the radio stations around to have conversation about bringing the HRC back. The HRC awards back and talk about the nominations as there. As well. I think especially for the first year to pull from every avenue wouldn't be a wrong avenue. Because like I said, once again, we are working with a very limited amount of time. So promotion has to be on 100, as they would say. So all of us would have to be involved in this. All of us would have to be coordinated in our effort to make this happen. And 1, 2, 3, 4 people can't do it. We as a team, we can make it happen. So I think like the sooner that we get this done, the better it will be. And just like I believe it was either Becky or Matt. Becky, I'm picking on you today. I'm sorry. It was either Becky or Matt. As far as who said the power of word of mouth. Word of mouth is very powerful. You have to think like people talk. They may not read social media. They might not even read the newspaper, hear the radio, but word of mouth is very powerful. In the schools, Quinn, Grady, Lance, Becky, myself, Matt, when we're at work, we talk about it, that word spreads, and because it's a positive thing and because a lot of people who was part of it before are very excited for this to be coming back. And just knowing that something like this is coming back, this is something positive for the community. And a world with so much negative going on, this is like a beacon of light right now, you know, to bring the community together. So I definitely believe in the power of the word of mouth. So, you know, that's a tool that we could definitely utilize to make this happen. So,
I can
but anyway,
share with the Franklin County Resource Network, and that is people who work in human service organizations. So a lot of people who are doing a lot of stuff, maybe in the daytime and probably likely also in the nights and weekends too.
okay. All right, so this was a very good conversation. I believe the only hang up I have is just that we only have 3 qualifications for somebody to be nominated. I mean, are we comfortable with that as a commission?
Yeah,
Because like I said, you know, don't make it too complicated, right? Mhm.
I think it really is. I mean, this it could be pretty straight ahead, you know, and as much as a couple of sentences about a Greenfield resident who's
Okay.
contributed.
Above and beyond in the range of, you know, in the field of, or in the
Yeah.
work in human
Well, maybe that, you know, the sub well, it's not. Is it a subcommittee? It's actually we're a commission, so it's a committee, right? Is it a subcommittee? Anyway,
It's a commission, yeah.
yeah. And so the group, the subgroup of that. We've got 2 out of 3. I wish my health was better. I'd jump in, and it seems like that's something that could be tackled in the subcommittee to sort of just hammer out the wording, maybe and you know, to take the next step of the planning process before the next meeting, if possible, before the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Speaking
say,
of- sorry.
Quinn, feel free to go first.
Speaking of that, did anybody else want to join the subcommittee for the events and community collaborations, just so I can include you in the emails that I send with all, like, I'm definitely gonna send the agenda to everybody, but just like going forward with all of the nitty gritty work, did anybody want to like jump in on that and be part of it to with me and Empress to like get it all 100% finalized?
I mean, I really do want to. I am worried about overextending myself.
Yeah, that's totally all right.
I don't know if I have, like, if you could have me at like 75%, I would
Yeah.
I would give a solid 100% of 75% to.
Okay. Sounds good, Becky.
I don't know you well, but
Fair, right?
I'd say 75% of you is 150% of me. So go for it.
Quinn, I was gonna say I'd be happy to attend some of the subcommittee meetings if I could make it, just so I can pass info along to the mayor and stuff too. So yeah, feel free to, you know, include me. And I was just gonna say I'd be happy to make a draft of what the Google form can look like and send it to you guys probably before the end of the week, if that works. Just it'll be pretty self-explanatory, but you know, just it'll be good to have as a basis, and you know, we can go from there. But I'd be happy to, you know, try to make any of the subcommittee meetings work with my schedule, if I can.
Do we know a date as far as when we want the nominations to start and how long it's going to run till? Because if just so that we're all on the same page, because if it's for December 10th, and I mean, do we want this because we still have, if we, November 13th is that the next meeting, and the meeting after that is December. I'm not that far on my calendar yet, but I'm just saying, you know, how far should we let this nomination go for, you know, until we pull those tallies, so that by our next meeting, which I don't even think we're going to have enough time by November 13th. So maybe we should call a special meeting just for a vote, you know, because we may not have that data back by the 13th. So
I think that we should collect nominations for all of November, for the whole month of November, and we should plan on maybe the 4th, the first Monday in December, that we have a special meeting to review the nominations.
Yeah, so that would be a special meeting because it wouldn't be till, so we would have a special meeting on the 4th, right, Becky? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay, for the
additional
vote, just the vote.
That's for people that, and then that also can be public, right? So people can see there's transparency of how it's decided. People can be involved in that.
Mhm.
And then
The only thing with that,
it's not enough turnaround for
Yeah.
creating the.
Well, we'd have to,
because what I was, I'm sorry, Lance. No, because what I was gonna say, Becky, is just like, I could call tomorrow just to see about the turnaround time, about how long they need for the engraving, though. I mean, it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks. So, what I could do tomorrow, is I could call or go by Turner's Falls and just send an email to everybody. So at least we have more of a time frame. So like, at least if it's 2 weeks, then it would have to be before December 4th, so we could have that name so that we could pull it and get the engraving done.
That makes sense.
Or if the engraving gets done after, that's not the end of the world. Here's your
Yes.
fake award and your real.
engraving's gonna be on the building, right? I mean, that's what,
Well, then
There's a-
nobody want to take home, but that one maybe could say something like, just a general thing without a name printed on
Yeah.
it. Name's
Okay.
plaque. So we just have here's your general award. Congratulations. You take this
Okay.
home, and then your name goes in the town hall.
Okay. And then we make a different appointment for their engraving to go to City Hall and all that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
That
just
works.
thinking of the maximum outreach time. It still is only
Mhm.
we have like a week to make all the information and organize it and edit it and then get it out. So that's only gives the public like a month, and that's seems fast.
Okay. Okay. That's not, I mean, that definitely sounds fair to me because, I've seen people do it before, even graduate in high school. Sometimes they just give you an empty, because if you got summer school, they won't really put your diploma in there, but you can still go through the process. So it'll be the same thing. Yes, definitely works for me. All right. So, anybody else have anything to add that we have not touched on already? Or
Maybe we can do a little bit of I don't know if there's any anybody would do any kind of little gift award donations for the recipient. So maybe there's a little basket of something in addition to their nameless award that they can take home.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, like a gift basket.
Yeah,
General gift
some
basket.
anybody knows anybody at local places that might be here's some things you could put in a little basket. That would be nice for a recipient to get a little, because they're doing so much in the community to get something.
Okay, so we could brainstorm that in a subcommittee. That's definitely something. I like that idea too. And maybe we could get an organization or somebody to sponsor a gift basket or something, because gift basket is much, so that's definitely something we could discuss in the subcommittee. Anything else that we did not touch on? Or I think we covered a lot of information today in an hour. So, one more thing I want to touch on. I know that Becky, one of the things that Becky has been very adamant with is as far as HRC clothing. So I was wondering, for this award ceremony, would this be a perfect time for us as HRC members to have a shirt saying who we are, the HRC? At least we would all be, I don't want to say the word uniform, but we would all be in attire, talk, and actually have HRC, ask us about the HRC. I forgot exactly how it was worded, how Becky said she would like to word it, but I am 100% supportive and I'm on board with that, because I know that's what, like I said, that's a huge thing Becky was always saying, you know, is that we should have some kind of HRC attire. So maybe that's something we could also look at as far as in the budget, or even like if we all put in or something, we could probably get an order or something like that. You know, at least we would all have the same HRC awards, and we would have something to represent who we are. How do we feel about that?
I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, hold on.
I think
I'm
that
sorry.
sounds great. And I think especially since the award budget, like applying for the award will probably be a lot of what the budget is. That's something you can naturally work within the award budget itself. So you'll have everything accounted for. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe we can find some
Right.
information out about that, Empress, and see the kind of general cost to printing a shirt or something. I'm not sure.
Okay. I forgot the t-shirt printing place right here on in Greenfield. They do Juneteenth shirts. But I know I have her information. I could just stop by there tomorrow. If we have a count and just, you know, just see what, and like I said, I could also send that out tomorrow after I talk to the people over in Turner's Falls about the turnaround and the pricing for the trophy and the engraving information. Sounds good?
Yeah.
So does
I think
anybody else have anything?
No, I just want to say I think it's been a very productive meeting, and I think I really want to thank Quinn for, I mean, did incredible amount of legwork, especially for, you know, just joining the commission so recently. So very great job, Quinn. I think great job by everyone here bringing a lot of fantastic ideas to the table, and you know, it's a short time frame, but I think we have some good cohesion and some good energy, and I think the community is going to be really excited to see this. So. Great work, everyone.
Thank you. I'm very excited about it too.
And Quinn, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I know I've been putting Becky on the spot all meetings, so now it's your turn. Do you know exactly when you're gonna be reaching out to let us know when our next meeting is for this subcommittee, sir?
Yeah, I will email you tomorrow. I have a study during my school, and I will send you the agenda. I'll send the agenda to the whole thing, and I will email you and Becky, and we can figure out what time is free in our schedule, and we can meet for the subcommittee to plan the questions for the panels and any suggestions for who can be on it.
Okay. Thank you, Quinn. Anybody else have anything to say? Wid, do you have anything to say, sir?
Pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
I think he was having connectivity
No.
tonight.
Yeah,
So
he's connected, the connection.
Yeah.
Yes, well, if nobody else has anything to say, I will make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I second it.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
You too.